All right, everyone, let's get started. Today, we're diving into the final, and honestly, the most crucial message of the chapter, Going Places. We've been on this journey with Sophie. We've seen her dreams. But now we get to the real lesson the author wants us to understand. So here's how we're going to break it all down. We'll start with Sophie's wait by the canal, then we'll really unpack what this imagination loop is all about. After that, we'll look at the huge difference between dreaming and doing, explore her escape into fantasy, and then get to the author's big warning. Finally, we'll talk about what this means for you. Okay, first things first, let's quickly recap where we left off. Remember Sophie? She was sitting by the canal, waiting, and reality was about to hit her hard. So we knew it, right? We knew the meeting with Danny Casey was all in her head. He was never going to show up. But the real question, the one that this whole final part hinges on, is what does she do now? How does her mind react when the fantasy bubble bursts? Well, here's what's so interesting. Instead of waking up and facing the truth, Sophie dives even deeper into her imagination. She gets stuck in a cycle, a loop. And this is the most important lesson in the entire chapter. Pay close attention here. So let's talk about this imagination loop. What is it exactly? It's a psychological pattern, and believe me, it's not just something that happens in stories. Sophie is our case study for understanding this very real trap. A mental loop is basically when your mind is stuck on repeat. You're thinking about the dream, you're picturing it, you're feeling it, but you never ever take that crucial third step, which is doing something about it in the real world. It all just stays locked up inside your head. And here's Sophie's process, broken down. Step 1, she has a dream. Step 2, she imagines it in vivid, beautiful detail. But look at step 3. No action. That's the missing ingredient. And because that step is missing, she just goes back to the beginning and repeats the whole thing. It's a circle that leads absolutely nowhere. You know, it reminds me of that famous Einstein quote, doing the same thing over and over but expecting something different to happen, that's insanity. Sophie feels busy. Her mind is racing with these fantasies, but in reality, there's no progress. She's just running in place. And this brings us right to the central conflict of the chapter. It's not about good versus evil. It's about two different ways of dreaming. One that builds you up, and one that keeps you stuck. Look at this. It lays out the two paths so clearly. On one side, you have the productive path. You start with a dream, but then you add effort and consistency. That's the recipe for real growth. Now, look at Sophie's path. A dream, plus a lot of imagination, but zero action. That doesn't equal growth. It just creates an illusion. And here's the bottom line, everyone. Life rewards what we do, not just what we wish for. Your thoughts, your dreams, they're the blueprint. They are so important, but you can't live in a blueprint. Action is what actually builds the house. So let's zoom in on Sophie's state of mind right at the end, because this is where the author really shows us just how lost she's become in her own little world. Think about this. Reality has just slapped her in the face. She's sitting alone by that canal, and what does she choose to do? She deliberately turns away from that reality and dives right back into her daydream. This isn't just an accident, it's a choice. It shows us how badly she wants to escape. And look at the detail. This isn't just a fuzzy idea of meeting him. She pictures everything. His voice, the exact color of his eyes, his freckles, even the little gaps between his teeth. She's not just dreaming, she has built a complete alternate reality in her mind. So, what's the point of all this? Why is the author showing us Sophie's retreat into fantasy in such detail? What is the warning here for us? It's really simple. Her fantasy world is a shortcut. It's a way to get all the amazing feelings of success, the fame, the admiration, without having to do any of the hard work that's actually required to earn it. She wants the result. She craves that eruption of exultant approbation from the crowd. She wants that thunderous applause. But she's not willing to put in the thousands of hours of training and dedication that someone like Danny Casey does. She wants the goal, but she wants to skip the grind. And that brings us to the final, and I believe the most important section. This is the lesson from Going Places that the author wants you to carry with you. Now, please understand this very clearly. The author is not saying that dreaming is bad. Not at all. Dreams are essential. They're the spark that starts everything. But dreams are the starting line, not the finish line. The warning is about falling in love with the dream so much that you forget to actually run the race. So, how do we avoid Sophie's trap? It's about breaking that loop. First, you have to focus on the present. What can you do right here, right now? Second, take one small daily action toward your goal. It doesn't have to be a giant leap. And third, be consistent. Do it again tomorrow and the day after that. Okay, quick revision for your exams and for life. 1. Sophie is trapped in a cycle of imagination. 2. Dreaming without action gets you nowhere. 3. The whole story is a battle between reality and fantasy. And the final, most important message, break the cycle and take action. And that's the question the author leaves us with. It's a question I want you to ask yourself honestly. Are the things you do every day actually moving you forward? Or are you maybe just going in circles like Sophie? The choice is always yours. If this explanation helped you understand the chapter better, do like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Ace Archive for more such Class 12 English content.